I'm ready! Lucy zips up the jacket Milady has lent her and slings her backpack over the shoulder. Coming. Milady closes the door to the room behind her, and Lucy turns and clambers out the window. They are going to the show. Does she remember the verse? She's practiced it every day since Milady gave it to her. Milady climbs out behind her. She's dressed in nicer clothes today, and she's even lent Lucy a skirt to wear. It's good for the show, she said. They head on to the empty evening street, and Lucy hurries after Milady. And they are friends again. She was really worried after she cleaned, but Milady never threw her out, and she even gave her new tasks. She's made sure she doesn't mention anything about the basement again, and she hasn't done any cleaning, and Milady has been kind. She must have seen that she could trust her after all, that it was all just a mistake. She bumps into Milady and stumbles. She stopped and is flicking through the pages of her notebook. Sorry, I just had to check one thing. Milady puts the notebook back into the backpack. We're almost there. Do you remember everything? Lucy bobs her head up and down. Remember, it might look scary, but it's nothing to be afraid of, okay? Lucy nods. She's not scared. She knows what to say. We'll be in the basement, Milady continues. It will be decorated for the ritual. Gulby will tell you where to stand, and then she and I will begin. Lucy nods. She knows that. Milady has already told her. We will chant, and you can sit quiet for that. And then you will say the words I gave you. Why does Milady go through the plan again? She's already told her everything. Oh, maybe she's afraid that Lucy will mess up. But she won't. She won't. She knows what to do. Once you've said your part, I will continue, and then Gulby will recite another incantation. And then we'll be silent until I say we're done. I know. Good, Milady nods. Milady holds and takes out her notebook from the backpack again, opens up a page to read, and then returns it to the bag. Is everything okay? Asks Lucy. Milady tries to smile. Of course. Just checking the last thing so I don't forget. Oh, hasn't Milady done this before? She thought she said it wasn't her first time. They arrive at the small townhouse shortly after that. It looks ordinary. Not like a house that a crazy old lady would live in. Milady knocks on the door, and the old lady that opens also looks ordinary. She's old, but she smiles as she sees them. She gestures for them to come inside. Welcome, my dears, welcome. I'm so happy you could make it. And that you took your friend with you, she says to Milady. Gulby sits down on the sofa and gestures for them to do the same. There's a teapot, 3 cups, and a tray of biscuits on the table. Milady leans over and snags one. Are you all right, my dear? Gulby asks Lucy. She nods, and the lady smiles and turns to Milady, telling her about something the neighbors did today. Lucy soon loses track of the chit-chat. She wonders where this basement is that they will do the ritual in. She peers around the room, and then silently repeats the verse in her head. She still remembers it. Milady will see that she can do it. Then maybe they can do more jobs together. When the last of the sun has set on the horizon, Gulby says, Come with me, my dears. It's time. I hope you memorized everything. Rachel has told you what will happen, I hope. Milady gets up and follows Gulby into the hallway. Lucy sees her fidgeting with her sleeve, and she wonders if she's nervous. She's never seen Milady nervous before. The old lady leads them down a stairway, and they come down to a large room. It has a star painted on the floor, the same star as Milady has on her pendant, and there are candles on each point. And along the wall is a small table. There are some feathers. And it's a large crystal and a black book. Gulby gestures for Lucy to take the place at one of the points of the star, and Milady moves to stand next to Gulby, opposite her. They stand silently at first, their eyes closed, and then, as if it was rehearsed, which, when Lucy thinks about it, it must be, they draw a circle in there and mumble something Lucy can't understand. Once the circle is complete, Gulby straightens out and begins to chant in a high-pitched voice. Maybe she's using a different language, because Lucy doesn't understand anything. Milady suddenly flinches, staring at the center of the star. There is nothing there that Lucy can see. Gulby finishes the recitation, and Lucy clears her throat. It's her turn now. She repeats the words Milady has told her, and she's so proud of herself because she remembers every single one of them. Once she's gone silent, Milady picks up an incense burner and wafts the smoke out over the star. She keeps doing it for such a long time, Lucy gets all sleepy from the smell, and almost dozes off. Milady places it back on the floor, takes out a small silver key from her pocket, and holds it up as Gulby chants another verse. Once she finishes, the room descends into silence, and Lucy wonders if they are done but doesn't dare to move because Milady said she would tell her when they are ready. They stand for a long while. Milady closes her eyes and moves her lips, but doesn't say anything. At one point, Gulby starts to stare at the center of the star, as if she's seeing something. And then Milady opens her eyes, flinches, and watches the center too. Lucy thinks they've done this many times before, because Milady is playing her part really well. And then, when Lucy has almost drifted off to sleep from the stillness, she hears a droning murmur. It's quiet at first, but the room is so silent she can hear the slightest sound. With each passing moment, it's getting louder and louder until she feels her head is buzzing. Milady didn't say anything about that. She looks around. Something dances on the wall, a shadow, and she quickly looks at Milady. They haven't moved. They are still staring into the air. Lucy hesitantly turns back to the wall. Maybe she's gone intoxicated by the incense smoke. Another shadow flickers by, as if something climbed up the wall. She feels her skin prickle. Milady didn't say anything about this. She's almost on the verge of saying she wants to go home, when Milady quivers, raises her hand and says, I ask for safe passage for the two of us. Please accept the price for this favor. Lucy stares into the room. It's empty, but both Milady and Gulby watch the center of the star. The candlelight flicker, as if disturbed by a gust. And Lucy wants to say something, and then everything goes dark. Milady's gaze is hazy at first, but slowly the empty street comes into view. The sky is grey with streaks of red and pink, and the air flickers, twitches. It feels like she's viewing the world through a filter. Her heart takes a leap. We did it! Gulby, we crossed! She turns to her. Gulby isn't there. It's Lucy. Lucy is standing next to her. Milady freezes. Where's Gulby? She snaps her head around. The street is empty. Damn it! What's wrong? Where's Gulby? Fuck! What's happening? Where are we? Lucy sways and stumbles. Damn, not now! Milady turns to the opening they came from. No, they need to close the portal. They need to get their ass moving. She can think about what went wrong later. She takes Lucy's hand and drags her with her. Come on, let's go! Lucy struggles against the pull. What's happened? Where are we? It doesn't matter. It's part of the show, okay? Let's go. You didn't tell me about this. It was a surprise, okay? We need to go. She pulls Lucy with her and hurries down the street. The portal will be easily recognized, or so the books say. Her gaze darts frantically, scanning the street for any signs of the portal. The air is still, terrifyingly so, but she presses on. I want to go back, Lucy whimpers. We will, okay? Just a bit further. She turns a corner, and there it is. A door in one of the houses lining the street shimmers. She drags Lucy to it, knocks, and the door swings open. Lucy starts to pull away. I don't want to. I want to go back. You never told me about this. but Milady drags her inside and the door closes behind them. They stand in an empty room. Abandoned, from the looks of it, if it ever was inhabited. Difficult to know in this middle land. A fallen chair lies in the corner, and the window on the other side is broken. In another corner, the air is flickering, wisps of glimmer twirling, and she knows that's the portal. Now it's just to cast the spell, and it will get back to Gulvi. She takes a deep breath, and silently repeats the words before spreading her arms wide and casting the spell. Nothing happens. She hesitates. She remembers the spell, she's sure of it. She tries again. Nothing. Why doesn't it work? She tries another spell, but the portal won't close. Is it the wrong house? No, this is the one. She can feel its power. What's wrong? This is not how it's supposed to be. They were supposed to cross the worlds and the rest would be easy. And Gulvi should be there. No, focus. Focus, you can do this. The spell doesn't work. Is it the wrong spell? No, the book said this was the one. What else? Milady, there's something here. Lucy's terrified whisper reaches her through panic. Milady turns. Shadows gathering in the corner. Black wisps taking shape. They're running out of time. She turns back to the portal and casts the spell again. Nothing. She flinches a glance at the corner. The shadows are growing stronger. They're coming for them. Damn it, they need to get back. She takes Lucy's hand and runs out the door. The street has lost its grey shimmering, and instead, wisps of darkness flit through the air. Something is watching them. She can feel them biding their time. She runs through the street until she sees the portal to go back. She hears Lucy scream, but she doesn't look back and drags her into the hole and everything goes black. The basement slowly materializes, and Milady staggers and falls to her knees. Gulvi. She blinks, and the world takes shape. Gulvi lies at the edge of the star, unconscious. Gulvi! She scrambles over and shakes her. Her eyes are closed, her head lolled to the side. On her neck, dark patches have started to spread. She's not unconscious. She's leaving her body. Fuck! Gulvi, you need to wake up! Wake up, Gulvi! Gulvi doesn't move. Her pulse! She needs to check her pulse. Milady frenetically finds her wrist. The pulse is barely there. Damn, Gulvi, you need to wake up! What's happening? Where did we go? Lucy wobbles over to her, her legs barely holding her upright. Why is Gulvi on the floor? What? She starts to retch, staggers away and throws up in a corner. Fuck. Milady looks around. The portal has closed behind them, but the veil is still thin. They shouldn't be here. Lucy! Lucy looks up with glazed eyes. Help me take Gulvi upstairs. Her gaze flickers, unfocused. Lucy! Lucy sways, then staggers back to Milady, wiping her mouth. Milady hoists Gulvi up by the arms. Help me, we need to carry her upstairs. Lucy crawls over to her feet, stumbling as she gets up but takes hold of Gulvi's legs. Together, they slowly manage to pull Gulvi up the stairs and into the living room. The teapot and empty cups still stand on the table. As soon as Lucy has let go of Gulvi, she scrambles away and throws up in the corner. Shit, what are they gonna do? They shouldn't be here, the veil is too thin. Shall she call an ambulance? What the heck is she gonna tell them? They can't come in here. How will she explain this? She crawls over to Gulvi and starts to pump her chest in desperation. Nothing happens, and Milady slumps back against the wall. Damn it! Gulvi suddenly steers, and Milady hears her mumble something. Gulvi! She shuffles closer and puts her ear against her mouth. Shadow Man. You need to go and see the Shadow Man. Shadow Man? What the heck does he have to do with any of this? Go see the Shadow Man. Gulvi's head falls to the side, and she goes unconscious again. Gulvi, come back! Come back, don't die on me! But Gulvi lies unresponsive, and the dark patches have spread. Fuck! Shadow Man. What does he have to do with any of this? But it's her only clue. She gets up. Lucy is huddling in the corner, and Milady calls out, Stay here! Stay here! Stay with Gulby! I need to go! Where? Lucy peers at her with hazy eyes. Find the Shadow Man. The Shadow Man? The one that I saw? Yes. You know about him? Yes, just stay here. Stay with Gulby. Milady runs out the door and out on the street. Okay, Shadow Man. How does she find him? Shadow Man. Damn, you don't find the Shadow Man, he finds you. She runs down the street, frantically scanning their surroundings. How do you find the freaking Shadow Man? Something flickers in the corner of her eyes. A black cape disappears behind the corner. It's him! She runs after, but the street is empty as she turns the corner. She looks around. Fuck. She runs down the street until she comes to an alley. It's empty. She lost him. Shit. She turns and lurches backwards, almost falling to the ground. He's standing in front of her. His face is hidden under a cape, but she has the feeling that he's smiling. What do you want? Who are you? I'm the one running this world. What the hell? I'm the one letting people in and out of the shadow worlds. What is he talking about? Fuck, I don't have time for this shit. Can you help us? We did something wrong. We opened the portal and passed the worlds to get you back, but something went wrong and Gulby's dying. I know you did it wrong. I know you did it wrong because I'm not the one you thought I was. What? What is he talking about? They didn't believe anything about him. They just followed the guidance of the books. But can you help us? I need Gulby back. I need to put things right. He shifts where he stands, and she can feel him smiling. What do you have to offer? There is always a price for everything. I just paid the price. Gulby's almost dead. I paid the price. No, that was the price for the Guardians. I have a price as well. Fuck. What is the price? What is the price? Is she the price? Does she need to get a chicken? Fuck. So what do you want? I want a piece of this world. What the heck is he on about? What does that mean, a piece of this world? I will come to you. I'll tell you what I want. He's gone, and Milady is left alone in the dark alley. Damn! What just happened? Did she just make a deal? Or did she screw up? Damn it, there's no time. Maybe she did mess it up, but she needs to get back to Gulby. She sprints back and hurls herself into the house. Gulby has pulled herself up and is leaning weakly against the wall. She's awake! Milady runs to her, kneels, and takes her hand. Are you okay, Gulby? Her eyes are closed, but Milady can feel the smallest squeeze of her hand. She stays by her side, and Milady doesn't know how long it takes, but slowly, Gulby opens her eyes. I saw the Shadow Man. You saw him? Gulby nods. When you were gone, and I passed out. I saw the Shadow Man, he came to me. What did he say? What did he tell you? He told me to tell you to go to him. But I did, and I met him, and he said it was a price to pay and asked him what it was, and then he said he would come and he disappeared. So the worst has just started then. Gulby whispers before her head falls to the side, and she goes unconscious again. Damn it! Damn it! What does that mean? What the hell is happening? She shakes Gulby, but she doesn't move. Fuck! Why did Gulby become the prize? Why couldn't she close a portal? Milady slumps against the wall, and she stays by Gulby's side until she starts to shiver from the shock, and she gets up and brings him a blanket. Sometimes Gulby steers, but never awakes enough to talk again, and in the end, Milady drifts off into a restless sleep. When Lucy sees there is no more movement, she carefully picks up her shoes and backpack and runs. It's still not dawn, and Lucy shivers and pulls the thin jacket closer around her. The park lies deserted. and has done so the whole night. She's not sure where in the city she is. She never saw where she was running as she fled from Gulvi's house. There is still, and she's doing her best not to let her tired mind linger on what happened last night. Whatever it was real. That much she knows. Even now, when her eyes are closed, she can see hands reaching out for her. Black hands that claw from the darkness. She shakes her head, trying to dispel the vision. She doesn't want to think about it. And not about Milady either. She doesn't know who she is. But she's not the person she said she was. Just like the job she said they would do wasn't real either. It was something else. And Gulvi must have been part of it. Her mind is too tired to stray any deeper. She just knows she wants to leave it as far behind as possible. Something rustles behind her, and she quickly turns. But it's only a rat finding its way through the dry leaves. She goes back to staring at the dark ground. She should cry. But the tiredness and the numbness from the night stop it, and she's left huddling on the bench. What shall she do now? She can't go back home, even though she wants to. She can't explain what has happened. Won't be able to tell her parents about this. But she doesn't know what else. None of the movies she's watched have ended like this. She sits there until the first rays of sunlight find their way over the grass. She's just about to pick up her backpack and leave for town when she hears, "Oh, there you are." She turns. Milady is coming towards her, and Lucy grabs her backpack and runs. "Wait!" She hears Milady's footsteps quickening behind her, and soon she has caught up with her, and she grabs her arm. "Wait! Lucy!" Milady leans forward, resting her hands on her knees. "Are you okay? I didn't see you leaving. Leave me alone!" Lucy pulls away and takes off. "No, wait! Lucy!" Milady runs after her, and Lucy is all weak from the night, and she stumbles and falls, grazing her knee. She still lies on the ground as Milady comes up to her. "Lucy, wait! Please! Leave me alone!" She's too tired to get up. "Lucy, I'm sorry. We were friends!" She takes a handful of dirt and throws it at Milady, but misses. She backs away anyway. "Lucy, I'm sorry. Please, come with me. You're not safe here. These things will come after you." "No, we were friends. You don't do that to friends." And then the tiredness and the shock and the evening catch up with her, and she starts to cry. "We were friends. What did you do to me? Who are you?" The rest of her speech becomes a blur as she sobs on the ground. "Lucy, please, come with me. I'll explain. But you can't stay here. Leave me alone." Milady sighs. I just needed someone. And you were there." "But we were friends. What was that?" Milady shifts where she stands. "It's magic, okay? Real magic. But it went wrong." Lucy glares at her. "Magic?" "Yes." She's seen movies with magic in them. And somehow she believes Milady. She knows what she saw last night. And she knows she didn't dream it. "And what about me? I bought you. I saw you with Rat and I knew what he would do to you. So I bought you. And you were meant to play a role, but it didn't go as we expected." "Bought me?" "Yeah. So they weren't even friends. All along, Milady had been planning this whole thing." "Lucy, you need to come with me. They will come after you." "I'm not coming with you. You bought me. You wanted to use me." Lucy slowly stands up and clutches her backpack to her chest. "Lucy, I know I screwed up, okay? But please, you need to come with me." Lucy looks away. She should leave. But then the hands will appear again when she closes her eyes. And if this really is magic, what if they won't go away? What if something really is after her? She doesn't know anyone else than Milady who could help her. Come with me. You will be the safest with me. I know you don't trust me, but I'm the only one who knows how to get us out of here. Lucy stares at the ground. She can't go back. She can't tell her mom and dad about this. And what else? Shall she just sit on the bench until Rat finds her? She doesn't think she'll survive long on the street. Not after everything she's seen of it. She nods faintly, and Milady sighs in relief. We are not far from home. You can sleep there. You must be tired. Milady buys her a burrito on the way home, and Lucy gobbles it down, only then realizing how hungry she is. Once back at Milady's place, she doesn't even undress but slips underneath the blanket and is asleep before she's even put her head on the pillow. It doesn't take long until the first nightmare comes. Dark hands reach out and try to grab her, and she runs, but there is nowhere to go when she stumbles and wakes up with a scream. A door opens and Milady steps out from another room. Are you okay? What happened? Lucy is already crying, and as Milady sits down on the bed, she throws her arms around her, clinging to the only safety she has. In between the sobs, she manages to tell her about the nightmares, and Milady distangles herself and says, It's nothing dangerous. They can't reach you through the dreams. But Lucy clutches to her even harder. Tomorrow we'll find a way, but for now try to go to sleep. Can you stay? I know it's scary, but the dreams can't do you anything. Try to go sleep now. Milady gets up and walks back to her room and closes the door. Lucy lies down, but whenever she closes her eyes, the hands are waiting for her. And in the end, she gets up and huddles on the sofa, making sure her eyes won't close. She still sits there as Milady gets up the next morning. She mixes instant coffee into a cup of cold water, downs it, and says, We need to go to Gulvi. Lucy doesn't care. Sometime in the night, she's given up and is willing to follow Milady wherever she tells her to. She can't go home, and she doesn't know what else to do, and she wants the nightmares to disappear. She gets up without a word and follows Milady out. Gulvi has gone to the hospital, Milady tells her as they walk down the street. By the morning, she had been strong enough to stand, and had agreed that she would go to get checked. She would complain about feeling ill, being old and all. Lucy only nods in reply. They take the elevator to the third floor. Gulvi is sitting in her bed, and Milady hurries over to her. Lucy slips unnoticed to stand in the corner. How are you feeling? Milady asks Gulvi, taking her hand. I'm better. I will get out today. Oh, that's good. So, what have you found? Milady shifts. I think I need to go to the wizard. Gulvi gasps and drops Milady's hands. The wizard? You can't do that. What else? Do you know how to get out of this? No, but the wizard. We don't even know who he is. Or even if he exists. But I can't see any other option. Gulvi goes quiet, staring out the window. I assume you've gone through the list of every single adept around. Of course. None of them would know. Gulvi nods slowly, and Milady continues. I've looked through every single event again, and I can't figure out what went wrong. We did everything according to the books, and the prize wasn't even the issue in the end. We passed. They let us through. We got tricked. That's the only thing I can see. There was a trap set up by the Shadow Man, maybe even the Guardians. And we still don't know what they want. No idea. I just know that he will come. But it's not like I'm looking forward to that happening. Lucy doesn't understand what they speak about. Only that it has to do with what went wrong. After a while, Gulvi says, "And you think the wizard would be able to help us?" "If not him, who else?" Gulvi nods. "I'll come with you then." "No," Milady puts a hand on Gulvi's. "Stay here. I need to do this." "Nonsense. I'll come with you." "No, you're too weak. Go home and rest. I'll get back and I'll tell you everything." Gulvi sighs. "Okay, at least I'll see if I can find something when you're gone." Lady glances at Lucy. "I think it's better she comes with me," she says to Gulvi. She's seen the Shadow Man too. So maybe the wizard can tell us something about it. Gulvi nods and Lucy shrugs. It doesn't matter any longer. She's staying with Milady, so she might as well follow her around too. "We leave tomorrow." They leave after that and return to Milady's basement. The journey to see this wizard is quite long, Milady tells her as they climb through the window. She knows the town he's rumored to live in, and it's 2 days by train. That's when Lucy realizes they were never short on money either. It was just another lie. Milady makes them a cup of tea, even heating the water for it, and hands her a cup. "He's a legend among priestesses," she says as she sits down on the sofa. "No one has seen him, or at least no one that I know of. But there are quite a lot of stories about him. Some says he's old, over 300 years, and he has found a way to have eternal life. Others says he's just simply crazy. In any case, no one knows as much about magic as him." Lucy doesn't answer. She doesn't even know if it's true what Milady says. But she can't go back now. Milady is her only option. And Lucy simply sits on the sofa until it's time to go to bed. The train sways and rattles through the night, but Milady cannot sleep. She stares out the dark window. How did they end up here? On their way to a mythical, potentially unstable wizard she isn't even sure exists, to ask for help to undo the worst mess she's ever gotten herself into. Together with Lucy, who still doesn't know why she's here. She glances at her. She's so small, huddled up on her seat, her head resting against the window, snoring softly. Milady turns away. "Don't think about it. It's for the best. They need her. There is no other way." The dark landscape whirls past her. It wasn't as if she thought crossing the worlds would be easy. She always knew it might go wrong, but she always imagined that they would be able to handle it. Between the two of them, she and Gulvi had always found a way, but she's not sure they will this time. Once Lucy fell asleep. She went through every single book in her library, but they all told her the same thing. The spells had been cast correctly, the ritual space duly prepared. Had it been the invocation? Calling the powers meant weighing every word, and without using their names, because that would mean a death sentence to reveal them to the Guardians. She'd written something she thought was foolproof, but maybe it hadn't been in the end. At least it wasn't Lucy that was at fault. The Guardians had accepted them, but had taken Gulvi instead. Why? And why couldn't she close the portal? She shifts, disturbed thoughts creeping up on her. What if they won't make it? What if they won't be able to close the portal? The books, unsurprisingly, lack a troubleshooting section, and all she's left with is the hope that they will find a solution before it spirals out of control. Good luck with that. They only have this alleged legendary magician, the elusive mythical creature that, for all she knows, might just as well be someone who ate too many mushrooms and never came out on the other side. Why isn't there a manual for this? She sighs, and for the umpteenth time, chucks up her jacket as a pillow, closes her eyes, trying to sleep. But no sleep comes. Only images from yesterday. It hadn't been difficult to find Lucy. A simple trace spell had led her to her. It had been trickier to convince her to come with her. But it needed her. She'd hoped that, if she was honest, Lucy would see that she had nothing to hide and she would trust her again. She didn't tell her the real reason she had to come with them, though. It is true that the shadow beings will come after them. But it is Milady and Gulby that they will aim for. Lucy will simply be a gateway. Her nightmares show that they are still around. And the veil will be thin until they manage to close the portal. But the shadow beings are not the real issue. Lucy has a part to play in closing the portal, banning the Shadow Man, and finding the answers to what happened. Milady just doesn't know what part yet. Lucy's tear-stained face floats by and she opens her eyes. No, that's simply how it is to living on the street. She isn't the first to be tricked as a rookie. Nor will she be the last. Milady eventually learned the rules of the street and taught the ones around her not to fuck with her, but not before getting bruised. It would be the same for Lucy. The faster she learned that, the easier her life would be. But the image of Lucy crying on the ground won't leave her. She must have dozed off in the end, because she wakes up to the conductor announcing that they will arrive at the destination shortly. Lucy is awake. She's leaning against the window, staring out at the suburbs coming into view. She doesn't look at Milady as she steers, and when the conductor announces that they need to prepare to disembark, she simply waits for Milady to get up and follows her out. They will change trains here, and in a couple of hours, they will be in the Wizard's Town. She offers Lucy a sandwich while they are waiting, and she takes it without a word. Shortly after, the train arrives, and Milady takes her backpack, and Lucy follows her on board. The train rattles out from the station. What if the wizard won't be able to help them? Then she'll have to face the Shadow Man. And what then? She searched through the books for what he might have meant by "I'm the one running this world." But of course, they won't give any answers. And once Gulby had regained her consciousness, she didn't remember saying that the worst was yet to come. Milady sighs and leans against the window. If she comes out of this alive, she'll leave Lucy behind and go back to her old life. Lucy has already seen too much. And the night before leaving, Milady stepped over the line. "Can you stay with me?" Lucy had asked as the night was falling. It was the only time she talked to Milady, when she was afraid that the nightmares were looming over her. "It's a long day ahead of us tomorrow. We'll get up early. Try to get some sleep." "Please." Milady had looked at the door to her room, then sighed and sat down by her bedside. In the end, she needed Lucy to trust her. "They can't hurt you, the dreams." Lucy had simply nodded weakly. "Can't you tell me a story?" "A story? About what?" "How did you end up on the street?" Lucy didn't know that it was a question you didn't ask. Whatever your life was before coming to the city, it stayed in the past, but it was too late. Milady knows why she shared what she did, and she wished she could undo every word. "I came from a shitty home. My father wasn't the best, you could say, and I ran as soon as I was old enough to stay by myself." Lucy had gasped then. "Really?" "Yeah, I came here and started to make a living. And with time I got to new magic and I started to work with that." Lucy had said something in reply, but by then Milady realized she'd said too much, and she'd quickly got up. "It will be a long day tomorrow, we better sleep." She'd left without another word, but the door had already swung open. The person she'd been before she had shed her name and become Milady was creeping out, and she'd spent the rest of the night pushing her back in. A bell rings, and she realizes they're almost there. It's a small town, and they pass from the countryside to buildings in a matter of minutes. Soon the train halts by the station, and Milady picks up her backpack and they leave the train. She doesn't know where the man lives, but rumor has it that he lives on a hill outside of town. It's her best bet, and she walks over to a guard by the door. "Excuse me, we are looking for a house on a big hill outside of town. Do you know of any?" The man points out the door and to the right. "Just follow this street. It will be on your left as you exit the town. It's no more than half an hour walk." She thanks him and gestures for Lucy to follow her, and she does so without a word. It's not difficult to find it, and as they stand at the bottom of the hill, Milady takes a deep breath. This is it. She can't turn back now. Do or die. She hears Lucy follow her as she starts to climb. She's all sweaty as she steps up on the porch. It's a run-down house, with more rooms than she cares to count. The windows are dark, and the porch is neglected, with broken planks spread over it. She hesitantly knocks on the door. For a long while, the house is quiet, and when she's almost concluded that maybe he wasn't really in the end, the handle turns and the door swings open. Lucy steps behind her. The man that opens is nothing as she would have expected. The legend, the mythical wizard, is old, but surely not 300 years, and shorter than her. White hair, an ordinary jumper, and shoes that must be older than her. He looks up at them, with something Milady can't decide if it's curiosity or indifference. "Yes, how may I help you?" She didn't prepare anything to say. "Are you the legendary magician?" she blurts out without thinking. Shit, what kind of opening is that? Fuck, she doesn't even know if he's real. I could be. Sometimes I am. Who's asking? "My name is Milady," she says, and then stops. She can't use her taken name with him. That would be bad if he's the real deal. She takes a deep breath. "Jenna. My name is Jenna. I'm looking for advice." The man watches her. What kind of advice would that be? Milady looks around. Not sure how much he should reveal here on the doorstep. But he doesn't invite them in. It's about crossing the worlds and closing the portal. We fucked it up. The man looks at them for a moment and then says, "Come inside." He leads them into a dark hallway, and the dampness becomes a wall as the door closes behind them. They come to a living room where a fire is burning, and he gestures for them to sit. "So tell me what you've done," he says as he takes his place on the opposite sofa. It's the only invite she needs. She tells him how she saw the shadow man and realized something was stirring. How she went to Gulby, and they decided they needed to cross the worlds. She tells him the story of how she found the prize, and that it was Lucy. How they prepared everything according to the books, but right before the ritual, Lucy also saw the shadow man, and they didn't know what to do about it, but decided to go with it despite it all. She tells him that they managed to cross the worlds, but it was Gulby who became the prize, while Lucy came with her, and how she'd found a portal but it wouldn't close. The man sits silently, until Milady starts to wonder if they've actually come to the right place. And then he says, "There is something you're not telling me." She forgot to tell him about the shadow man. And so she tells him how he had come to Gulby, and Milady had met him in the alley, and what he told her. When she's finished, the room falls silent. At some point, the man gets up, makes them tea and comes back to the table. He still hasn't said a word. Milady starts to wonder if he even knows what she's speaking about. Maybe he simply is a pot-smoking recluse who had too many mushrooms in his life to remember what they had even come for. But she stays quiet, drinking her tea. After a long while, he clears his throat and says, "You got yourself into quite a mess, I must say." Milady sighs in relief. He knows what she's talking about, he's the real deal. "But I don't know what went wrong," she says. "Please help us," Lucy suddenly chirps. Milady stares at her. She didn't give her instructions to be quiet, but she thought that was obvious. Since when did she become a magic expert? "Silent," she whispers. The man turns to Lucy. "What's your name?" "Lucy." "And they used you in the ritual?" Lucy nods and starts to cry. The magician murmurs to himself. That explains something, at least. "What does it explain?" Milady asks, ignoring Lucy. This is way too important to waste on crying. He doesn't answer her question, but instead says, "You were afraid of the Guardians, weren't you?" "Of course. You need to be cautious with them," she says. "No, you were afraid of them. You tried to bribe them." Milady frowns. Bribe them? No, they paid for the crossing. Just like the book said. Maybe he doesn't know what he's on about in the end. He continues. "Do you understand who they are?" "They are the Guardians of the world," she says. He doesn't comment, but says, "You never thought about fighting your way through?" "Okay, that's it. They wasted their time. Fight your way through the Guardians. You might as well kill yourself on the spot. Who the fuck would come up with that idea?" He obviously has no clue about magic. The old man doesn't seem to notice her reaction because he continues. "You tried to bribe them, and they took the weakest of you." "The weakest? What does that mean?" "And you didn't have harmony in the circle. That also explains some things." What the fuck is he making this up on the spot? There is no such thing as harmony in magic. You need the right setup, the right deal, and the right payments. Maybe he sees her face because he says, "There's a lot of things you don't know." "But can't you tell us? Can't you tell us what you—" "Shut up! This is what I mean," the man says. "You don't have harmony between you. How do you expect your spells to work as you want if your intentions are not clear?" What the hell is he talking about? She's not an amateur, she understands how magic works, better than most people. You don't know what you don't know. And because of this, things got out of hand when you crossed the worlds. You got tricked, and you became the victim of the Shadow Man. He tricked you into it. Milady takes a deep breath and reminds herself that it's considered rude to shout at people in her own home. She's just about to reply when Lucy chirps. "Please teach us, tell us what to do." "But can you be fucking quiet?" His face softens as he looks at Lucy. "I could teach you. I could tell you what to do, but you will not understand it." Of course you won't fucking understand it. At least he sees that much. But you can tell me," Lady says. "I spoke to both of you," he says, turning to her. "But what shall we do?" "You need to find harmony between you before you will know what to do." He stands up. "Come back when you found it, and I can help you." He leads them out, and Milady waits until he's closed the door before murmuring, "What a fucking waste of time." "And why couldn't you keep your mouth shut?" she adds to Lucy. "You're not here to think or speak. What do you know about magic?" She kicks a stone as they walk down the hill. Fuck, so now it's just Salgulvid are screwed. "Why did you have to talk to him?" Milady spouts as she walks down the hill. "She's just mean. We are not friends." But Lucy had started to hope when she saw that the wizard was real. Maybe he could make her nightmares go away. And the wizard did say that he could help them. But Milady doesn't see it. And Lucy doesn't understand what harmony means. But it makes sense. Everything is easier when you're friends. But Milady is just angry all the time, blaming everything on Lucy, even though it was she who took her to him, went into the ritual. Things aren't as in the stories. She didn't find any friends on the street. Only Milady and Rat. And Milady even wanted to use her as the prize. She said so to the wizard. She hears Milady mumble to herself. Lucy hasn't talked to her since the park. Only that night when she was scared of the nightmares, and Milady told her why she had come to live on the street. She was sorry for her then. At least Lucy had run away willingly. But it doesn't mean she can be mean to her. If you just kept quiet, nothing of this would have happened. Milady yells at her over the shoulder. Maybe she can get Milady to see that the wizard can help them, and then her nightmares will go away. But he said he could help us. No, he didn't. But he said that he could help us if we find harmony. There is no such thing as harmony. He didn't know what he was talking about. Fucking waste of time. But the harmony. You want to find harmony? I'll tell you how. There are some rules to follow. Rule number 1. You're quiet. Rule number 2. You don't speak if you're not asked. Number 3. You do what I tell you to. Lucy should have cried. That's what she's always done when someone is mean to her. But Milady cannot blame everything on her. Not when the wizard said he could help them. You're just mean. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. And the wizard said we needed to find harmony. Fuck it. Milady turns back and keeps walking, mumbling to herself. She was never kind to Lucy. She only pretended. And now she doesn't even want to help her. It's already dark outside. They must have been with the wizard longer than she thought. The shops are closed and the streets are empty when they come to the town. She wonders where they will sleep tonight. Milady is still mumbling to herself as she leads them to the half-ruined building they saw on their way from the station. She finds some sheets of cardboard in a bin and takes one and heads to the abandoned house. Lucy takes another and follows, sitting down as far away as she can from Milady. She doesn't want to hear her mumbling and shouting at her. And it's not so cold either, so you can stay there in the corner. She doesn't have nightmares that night, because she doesn't sleep much on the hard floor. But sometime in the morning, she wakes up to Milady poking her with her foot. We're leaving. Lucy follows her to the train station. When all of this is over, if the wizard can help them, she will go away from Milady. She doesn't know what she will do when she lives on her own, but she doesn't want to become like Milady. She doesn't want to be mean. She hopes the wizard can help them, if they can only find what the harmony means. They don't speak on the journey back. Milady just sits by herself, mumbling. And Lucy is trying to figure out what harmony means. But she doesn't know enough about magic to understand what it said. When they come to the city and leave the train, Milady says, I'll go and see Gulvi. She turns and walks down the street. Lucy doesn't trust Gulvi, but she wants to find harmony so that her nightmares disappear. And maybe Gulvi will listen, and she follows. Gulvi has come home from the hospital, and when Milady knocks on the door, Gulvi is looking almost back to her old self. Fucking waste of time, Milady says before Gulvi has a chance to speak. She goes inside and Lucy follows. How so? Did you find him? Yeah, and he's bonkers, absolutely crazy. No idea what he's speaking about. Lucy thinks that Milady cannot say that. The wizard did say he could help them. But he talked about harmony. But for fuck's sake, you got introduced to magic a month ago. What the fuck do you know? Milady turns to Gulliver. She wouldn't stop talking. Just kept asking questions after questions and God knows what. Fuck, I guess that just proves the point that he was crazy, because he answered her. She slams down on the sofa and turns to Lucy. Just be quiet now. You have no clue what you're talking about. Just shut up and let us talk. Gulliver sits down on the sofa. And before Lucy has a chance to tell Milady not to talk to her like that, Gulliver says, so you wouldn't help us? No. You would! Milady groans. But Gulliver says, come on, let her speak. I want to hear it, even if it's rubbish. It's not every day you get to hear what this so-called legendary wizard has to say. Whatever. Lucy looks at Gulliver. Maybe she will understand what harmony means, even if she was part of everything that happened. She tells her everything she can remember from the visit to the wizard. And he said that the guardians took the weakest and that we need harmony. Then we can come to him and he'll help. Told you so. Freaking nuts, Milady says. Do you have any biscuits? I'm starving. Gulliver frowns. And Milady says, the only thing that could make sense is it took you and not me. Yes, Gulliver agrees. I think that would confirm what we always suspected, that you are stronger in your magical powers. But we could have figured out that by ourselves. Doesn't answer anything. It's just a random sentence that doesn't make sense. But now you've heard it, and it's bananas. What's next? How do we sort this shit? But wait, let's look at this at least. Maybe there's something here that can help us, Gulliver says. Milady turns to her. What? Did you hit your head when you fell? There's no fucking sense in it. It's wacko. Can we have those biscuits now? Wait, just for a moment, let's focus. If I'm the weakest of the two of us, why did it take me and not her? Gulliver says, gesturing at Lucy. Milady sighs. Okay, why you and not her? What went wrong? Milady goes through all the steps they took, and how the spells were cast correctly. The only thing she isn't sure of is the invocation, if that was wrong. What if the guardians didn't accept Lucy in the end, because she had seen the Shadow Man, and Gulliver became the prize instead? But that still doesn't explain the Shadow Man and why I couldn't close the portal, Milady says. Lucy listens as they speak. It's true. Why did they take Gulliver and not her? She didn't think about that. Why wasn't she the weakest? And she did see Shadow Man, but... Who can see the Shadow Man? She interrupts. Milady sighs, but Gulliver turns to her. People with power, you could say. What does that mean? And why did I see him and not you? Some people are born with magical powers, even if they never become a magician. It's a predisposition, you could say. But not everyone with powers will see him. I didn't. I only saw his shadow in my divination. And we have no fucking clue why you saw him, Milady adds. Lucy doesn't know why she saw the Shadow Man either. He didn't say anything to her. Can't we go and ask him? Gulliver turns to stare at her, and Milady puts her head in her hands and sighs. You don't go and strike up a conversation with him, for fuck's sake. He's not some friend you can visit when you're bored. But Lucy cannot stop her thoughts now. How did you find out about magic? She asks Gulliver. My family has a long line of magicians. I was brought up with it. Can anyone learn it? Even if you don't have powers? Theoretically, yes. You will always be stronger and learn faster if you have powers. But anyone can, in theory, learn it. But you were not born into a family of magicians, Lucy asks Milady. Milady sighs, but answers. No, I found out by myself. And yes, I do have a predisposition towards it. How? Milady groans. I've had enough of your stupid questions for a while. Why don't you stay with Gulby for a couple of days and let me breathe and think? But what if I have some powers? Wouldn't that make sense? If you have it, Milady, maybe I have it too. Gulby frowns. You mean that you would have a predisposition towards magic? So even though I know more about it, you are stronger. How can she have any powers? Milady asks. Just... She waves at her. Look at her. Gulby turns to Lucy. Have you had anything unusual happening in your life? Some special ability that no one else had? I don't know. She can't remember ever being different. She's just been normal Lucy. Maybe you wanted something and your parents always got it for you, or you always found money on the street, or you always knew who would come and visit you. No, nothing like that. Gulby hums and gets up and walks over to a drawer. Let's see what the pendulum has to say. Milady sighs. Come on, Gulby, it's a pendulum. It will spin in whatever direction you want it to spin. Gulby ignores her and asks for Lucy's hand. She holds the pendulum over it, and it starts to tremble. Gulby murmurs to herself. This is odd. It does say you have a predisposition. Lucy only stares at the pendulum. She has powers. Is she a magician? All this time she thought she was normal, but she has a superpower. Just like the stories. She forgets that she can't trust Gulby and blurts out, Does it mean I can do magic? She lifts her hand and tries to throw a fireball on the wall. She saw that in one of her movies. No, stop it, Gulby says. Milady groans and covers her face with her hands. Calm down, Lucy, Gulby says. You can learn magic. You would have an easier time learning it than me, for example, because I don't have a predisposition. But it doesn't mean you can shoot fireballs from your hands without knowing how. It doesn't matter, she can learn. She will learn to shoot fireballs, just like the movies. Okay, so what do we have now? Gulby says. It looks like you have a predisposition. That would explain a lot of things. That would also explain why you understand things without actually knowing magic. Milady looks up from her hands. But what the fuck? Listen to you. You've done a pendulum, swinging it in the way you want to, and now you're trying to believe something just because it would fit the fucking story. What is this? Gulby looks at her. But before she has time to reply, Milady gets up. I'm out of here. I can't cope with you two. Good luck with finding anything with your pendulum and your chicken fireballs. Ciao. She leaves. But Milady, what's the... The door slams. Lucy looks after her. Why did she leave? She's realizing she's wrong. There is a lot you can say about Milady, but she's always been arrogant. It's difficult for her to admit that she's wrong. But I didn't mean to prove her wrong. I just realized something, and I wanted to tell you because like that, maybe the wizard can help us. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Milady's Milady. And as amazing as she is, she can also be difficult. She'll come back. Gulby turns back to her. So what do you think happened? She asks. I don't know. I just know that the wizard said the harmony is important. Gulby hums. It doesn't make sense. I've never heard of any harmony in magic. And in any case, it wasn't you who cast spells. The wizard also said you don't know what you don't know. When did he say that? Lucy tries to remember. There was something with the Guardians. And he said something that you try to bribe them instead of fighting your way through. And that you don't know what you don't know. And there was no harmony. He said that again. And he said that you're afraid of them. Gulby frowns. Well, of course you're afraid of the Guardians. You have no business doing magic if you're not. And fighting your way through? I never heard a single book mentioning that. I can't even see how that would be an option. What else did he say? He seemed to know things without telling him. When Milady forgot to tell him about the Shadow Man, he said, "You don't tell me everything." And he said that using me in the ritual explained something, but he didn't say what. And that the Shadow Man tricked you. In the end, I asked him if he could help us, and he told me that we will not understand it. He cannot help us until we have harmony, and then we can come to him. Gulby mumbles something that Lucy thinks is good luck with that. But she's not sure she heard it right. I don't understand it, Gulby sighs. But something is ringing true in all of this. But I don't get it. She gets up to make them a cup of tea. Lucy has almost forgotten that Gulby tricked her. She's not like Milady. She listens to what the wizard said. And maybe she can find how to have harmony. What does it mean if you see the Shadow Man? Gulby sits down and hands her a cup. It's a bit unclear. It only says you have a role to play. But no one knows what that means. Maybe it's different each time he shows himself. Lucy wants to know more about magic. And so Gulby goes on to tell her how it works and what happened in the ritual. And she tells her about what she's learned in her life as a priestess and how Lucy could learn magic too. The night falls outside, and Lucy forgets that she was angry with Gulby. When Gulby has told her everything, she stands up and says, "I'll make you a bed on the sofa. You can stay here tonight." Lucy wiggles her toes, and she lies under the duvet when Gulby has left. The room is warm, and the bed is clean, and she has magical powers. And Gulby seems nice. She doesn't pretend like Milady. And maybe she can help them so they can go back to the wizard. She falls asleep. And this night, she doesn't have any nightmares. In the morning, Gulby makes them toast for breakfast. And she says that Lucy can have a hot shower. And Gulby even puts her dirty clothes in the laundry. It's nothing like Milady's basement. Lucy even wonders if maybe she can stay with Gulby. Maybe she can teach her magic. She didn't ask yesterday. And then it would be like in the movies in the end. She would find friends. Someone knocks on the door. That's earlier than I was expecting, Gulby murmurs as she gets up. Lucy hears Gulby talk to someone. And moments later, Milady comes into the kitchen. She's shaking. You dreamt about the Shadow Man? Gulby asks. No, he came to me in my dreams. He told me he's coming soon. We need to fucking fix this. Gulby goes quiet for a moment. I've been thinking and I have one idea. But you will not like it. Well, whatever, spit it out. What can be worse than crossing the worlds? The wizard did say some truths. You need to admit that. Things fit, even if you don't like it. Milady only grumbles. And he talked about harmony. Gulby continues. Well, whatever, unhinged. Risk nothing to try it. You must see it, no? Even if you was crazy, what other options do we have right now? Yeah, but what does it mean? Listen to me. He must have meant harmony between the two of you. He even said it when you left. Yeah, and that's why he's a nutcase. We have good harmony, we have good roles. But maybe you could try to live together again. And try to have a good relationship. Maybe that's what he meant. It's worth trying, it will not hurt you. Lucy puts her toes down. And she'll live with Milady again. But if that makes her nightmares go away, it's worth it. What am I, a babysitter? And come on, what do we risk trying? We risk my sanity. Milady, I'll give it a week. I'll be babysitting Wonder Kid for a week. Why the fuck did she agree to this? Milady looks over her shoulder. Lucy plods behind her, watching the ground. They should be out looking for a solution, not babysitting. For a week. And for what? To find harmony through a good relationship. What the fuck does Gulvi know anyway? She's just guessing. How can you have a good relationship with Lucy? There's nothing there to have a relationship with. Just gullibility and ignorance. It's not like they're gonna stay friends when all of this is over. But now she's stuck with her for a week. There has to be a better way to get rid of the Shadow Man than following Gulvi's musings and some wacky old wizard who ate too many mushrooms. For fuck's sake, why is Gulvi even having a say in this? It's not her the Shadow Man is after. She glances behind her. Lucy is quiet. Hasn't said a word since they left Gulvi. Stupid shit. She could at least be grateful that Milady agreed. At least she's making an effort. What is Lucy doing to sort this? Her chest tightens and she stumbles. Her gaze goes blurry, her heart racing. No, don't. Don't, you only screwed up. She falters and leans forward, forcing air into her lungs. I don't want you. Go. Slowly, she feels her lungs expand with fresh air, and her vision clears out. She stumbles forward. Fuck, she can't much longer. It's just this week and then Lucy will be out, and it will have fixed this. It has to fix. She wants her old life back. And she just wants to be Milady, not... Fuck. She wished she couldn't get stoned. Forget about the whole fucking thing. She stops. What if that is the way? She'll never be able to convince Gulvi not to do this whole babysitting thing. Better than to just spend this week in the best way possible. If Gulvi is right, which she still doubts, they could find harmony through smoking. That's the whole point of weed. To chill. And Lucy will be quiet, and the week will pass. Fuck, that's not a bad idea. She turns around and beckons for Lucy to come closer. I know how to sort this. Lucy looks up at her. Her eyes are empty, scared. Milady looks away. We'll get stoned. That's how we'll create harmony. Stoned? Yes. You know, marijuana, grass, weed, pot. Have you heard about that? The thing you smoke? Yes, the thing you smoke. But isn't that illegal? Who cares? It's not like they will catch us. They are better things than busting pot smokers. Lucy purses her mouth. Fuck. At least Milady is trying to come up with something here. It's not like Lucy wants to spend a week with her either. I'll go and score some, and I'll get back to the basement. You go ahead of me. Lucy nods weakly, and continues to shuffle down the street. Okay, the week will pass, and by the end of it, they will have a good relationship. Weed does that to people. Bonding. Whatever. She turns and heads down the street. She finds her dealer. Gets a variety of different sorts and bags them. Lucy should be thankful. She won't even ask her to pay for this. She should get some things to snack on as well. She always gets munchies when she smokes. She heads over to the supermarket. Popcorn, chocolate, bananas. Fuck, they would be better off just finding another solution. They're wasting a whole fucking week on crap. A freaking pendulum and some guesswork. So what if Lucy happens to have magical powers? What does that change? Babysitting her won't change a single thing. Fuck, she's stuck with her for a week. By the end of it, she has 2 full bags as she heads home. Lucy is sitting on the sofa, watching the floor. Got it. We're all ready to go. Lucy looks up at her, and Milady looks away. Have you smoked before? Oh, never mind. Of course you haven't. She dumps the bags by the stove, sits down next to Lucy and takes out the weed she got. I'll show you. She rolls a light spliff for Lucy and hands her. She takes it hesitantly, and Milady gives her a lighter, careful not to meet her eyes. Now you just light it and inhale. Hold it for long as you can, and then you blow out, okay? Lucy takes it, and hesitantly puts the joints to her mouth. As she lights it, she takes a deep breath, and Milady realizes she forgot to tell her not to inhale too deeply. She coughs and wheezes. Try again, she says as Lucy calms down. But this time, don't inhale into your lungs. Lucy tries again, and this time it works. She exhales a puff of smoke and leans back. It's working. They'll pass this week, and they'll have harmony after that. She rolls herself another joint, lights it, and leans back. Long time no see. Why didn't you think about this earlier? Lucy is slumping on the sofa, watching the wall with a slight smile on her face. Well, that's her day gone at least. She should have done this earlier. Skipped all the shadow man and shit. She gets up and takes out the chocolate. It comes from nowhere. Her hand starts to tremble, and her breath hitches in her chest. No, not again. Cold sweat runs down her spine as her heart races. The gaze blurs. The air is thin, making it difficult to breathe. She stumbles back to the futon and sits down. Breathe. Just breathe. It will pass. It's not dangerous. It will pass. The room slowly clears up. Lucy has tipped over and is asleep on the sofa. Milady stumbles to the bedroom and lies down, staring up at the ceiling. Don't come. Don't. I became a lady for a reason. She pushes back the tears. It's just a week. Don't come back. It takes her a long time to push her back, but in the end, she drifts off to sleep. The dream takes shape slowly, and when she sees the black cape, it's too late. What do you want? I didn't make a deal with you. Oh, but you did. You did. And I will come and claim it soon. What is it? What do you want from me? You'll see. But it's not long now. Get ready, my dear. She wakes up with a jerk, her face wet from tears. She huddles up against the wall, cradling her pillow. She did make a deal with him. She won't be able to get out of this. She looks around, but the air is still. How long until he comes? They need to get back to the wizard. He needs to help them. She touches her face. She's crying. It was a long time since she cried. She still sits there, huddled up against the wall, as the first morning light finds its way through the window. She struggles out of bed, stumbles, and falls to the floor. Her hand shakes as she writes a note to Lucy that she's gone to Gulvi, and she clambers out the window. Is everything okay? Gulvi asks as she opens the door. Where's Lucy? What's happened? She's sleeping, she's fine. So what happened? I did make a deal with Shadowman. He's coming. Gulvi frowns. What do you want to do? Go to the wizard. I'm not going to sit around waiting for the Shadow Man to get me. But we need to have harmony. Does it look like we have time? Maybe it's enough. We got stoned. We chilled. No hard feelings. Gulvi chews her lip. Okay, I have a friend. We can borrow his car. We'll get there faster. She leaves and hurries home. Lucy is already up, sitting by the table and eating chocolate. We're going, get ready. Where? To the wizard. But aren't we waiting until the end of the week? No. She grabs her backpack and climbs out the window. Hurry up! Lucy comes out as Gulvi pulls up with the car. The journey there takes too long. The car is cramped, and it coughs and spits as they come out on the highway. But slowly it picks up speed, and Gulvi gently strokes the steering wheel, murmuring soothing words to it. They will arrive late in the evening. But they've done it. It must be enough. Please say it's enough. Gulvi parks by the road as they arrive. Milady glances up at the house and takes hold of her trembling hands. She hurries ahead of them as they climb out of the car. Please say they've done everything. Please say it's enough. She knocks on the door, and just like last time, it takes a long while until the handle turns. So you came back, Jenna? Yes, I think we sorted out the harmony now. Please, can you help us? This is Gulvi, she adds, gesturing at her. She was the one who became the prize. The wizard looks at Gulvi for a moment, before nodding and gesturing for them to come in. He leads them to the living room and sits down. You have more harmony between you say. I can feel that. Milady pushes back the tears. They did it. They sorted it, they got the harmony. But not enough for me to tell you. Milady blinks. What? What does he mean? She went stoned with Lucy, for fuck's sake. What does she want them to do? An acid trip? But what else? The man goes silent for a moment, weighing his words. For this to work, the harmony you need to have between you is one of trust. It's one of understanding each other and working together, not against each other. And just being stoned together will not sort that. Milady stares at him. She didn't tell him what they did. How the fuck does he know that? Before she has time to ask him, Gulvi says, So how? How do we do it? He glances at Milady. Trusting is difficult for someone as cynical as her. Fuck, he's pushing his luck. She's not cynical, what the fuck does he mean? She's realistic, if anything. But is there any way we can do this? Gulvi asks. The Shadow Man visited Jenna again last night. He's coming for her. You need to become friends. Oh no, she's not going back. Not a chance she will be letting her out again. Hell no. The man continues. One of the reasons why Shadow Man is here is because the world lacks balance, lacks harmony. And you made a pact with him. You offered him something, not knowing or understanding what you offered him. But somewhere deep inside, you made a deal with him. Fuck, I know. Creating harmony will not only help you in ways you do not see yet, but it's something that will protect you. And something that, maybe, if you'll be in more balance, will break the deal you made. But how? We smoked. What else do you want me to do? You need to start to care about her. Because when you began your spell, you didn't care about her. You didn't care about anything else other than yourself and what you decided to do. And this is part of the problem. Now you need to start to care. And this will create harmony, which will protect you. She shifts on the sofa. You don't need to care if you have deals. Anyone working with magic knows that's how it works. You give something, you get something. Simple as that. And anyway, caring has never led anywhere good. Just tried it in the past. Yes, you're on the right track. She looks up at him. Life is more than just transactions. You can go a long way with transactions with magic. But it will never be sustainable. It will never take you to where you really want to be. Because where you wanted to go, and what you did when opening the portal, was doing it in a way that has a lot of flaws in it. It was not meant to be a transaction deal. You can fight your way through, that's fine. But you can't make transactions with the Guardians. Not like this. She stares at him, momentarily forgetting the grudge. But it's in the books. Everyone knows it, that's what you do. It says so everywhere. But do you know what happened to those people who wrote that? What do you mean happened? They didn't die, obviously, because they could write a book. But you know what their end looked like. She knows. Everyone knows what happened to their most famous adept. And it wasn't pretty. Some became crackheads, others homeless. And one had her whole fortune wiped out. But that happened years after they wrote their books. They kept being practicing adepts long after they opened the portal. You mean crossing the worlds caused it? The man nods. But he closed the portal. Otherwise they couldn't have written about it. The Shadow Man has many tricks up his sleeve. Not each crossing of the world is the same. If you choose to live this way, doing magic this way, there will always be a bigger price to pay in the end. They found out the hard way. You mean there is another way of using magic? Gulvi asks. There is always more than one way. How? Milady asks. First, you have to want it. You have to deeply desire to use this way of magic. And once you start to use it, you will never go back to how it used to be. Fucking riddles. She feels her chest tightening. No, don't. The hold releases, and an image of the Shadow Man flashes by. She'll end up like them. She won't be able to get out of this. This will be her end. But she can't. But the deal. Show me. I told you the first time when you came here. You need to create harmony. You need to take care of her. That's the first step. But it's not the end. This is a lifelong journey. Nothing that can be done in just one night. It's another way of working with magic, and it's done differently. But what I can do at the moment, because you've gone far enough, and you've shown enough desire, is that I can try to loosen the bond, so that the Shadow Man will not come directly. That's all she needs to hear. But what is the price? Gulvi asks. Her willingness is the price. Milady barely hears her. Who cares about the price if the wizard can remove the deal with the Shadow Man? He takes her up the stairs and into her room. There's an altar by the wall, but no pentagrams drawn on the floor, nor any candle lights around the ritual space. He gestures at the chair standing in front of it. It will not hurt. Just sit still. He picks up a brush made of feathers from the altar and starts to chant in a high-pitched voice while fluttering it over her head. At first, nothing happens. Then the images start to come. Lucy with Rat. Lucy happy to be given her first task. Lucy skipping behind her as they walk to Gulvi. Lucy on the ground, crying, throwing dirt at her. Lucy's empty gaze as she followed her to the train station. Her hope as she asked the wizard if he could help them. And then it shifts, and everything comes back. Jenna wanting to protect Lucy from Rat. Jenna smiling at Lucy's joy. Jenna worrying as they walked to the ritual. Jenna wanting to hold Lucy as she cried on the ground. Jenna reaching out to Lucy as they walked to the train station. The chant quiets, and the man puts the brush back onto the altar. You should be careful not to break this one. Because if you do transaction magic off of this, I don't think there is any way back. I don't know any way that can save you after that. She nods quietly. And he hands her a card and tells her she can call him if she needs to. She takes it, and without looking at him, hurries down. They leave after that. Gulvi gives her an odd look, but keeps quiet as they thank the wizard, and head down to the car. They will spend the night in a nearby town. It's too late to leave for home. They find an open hotel, and Milady heads straight to her room and lies down. She can't hold her back any longer. She remembers seeing Lucy with Rat, and how she, once she'd bought her, had realized how difficult it would be to keep Jenna out of the equation for a month. She had never managed to fully close her out, despite her best attempts. Jenna always wanted to do stupid things. Make friends, help people, be kind. Just like Lucy. But she got enough bruises as she arrived in the city. And she'd shed her. She'd taken a new name, and banished Jenna to the back of her mind. She could never have survived on the street. It had stayed that way, until she saw Lucy, and realized she stared down at the version of herself. It had taken all the willpower she had not to let Jenna out. She sent Lucy on errands, trying to keep her busy, and pushing her away whenever Jenna threatened to come out. But it didn't matter how nasty she was, and how much she was hurting her. Lucy kept following her around like a puppy. And then the ritual happened, and she was taken aback at how happy she was that it wasn't Lucy who was sacrificed, that she survived. And that evening, as Lucy cried in bed and Jenna had told her too much, she had almost lost it. She hadn't been sure she would be able to push her back again. She's known what she has to do ever since the first visit to the wizard. Harmony meant Jenna. She was always good at that. But she couldn't go back. Being Jenna had never led her anywhere else other than to hurt. And then she'd finally managed to make Lucy go away. Make her stop talking to her. And a part of her had died then. But she can't go back. She can't let Jenna out, she can't. Lucy wakes up. It's good to be pulled up by Milady's basement. We're here. Lucy glances at Milady. She's been sitting silently the whole way home, only speaking when she's talked to. Lucy doesn't know what the wizard did. Only that Milady changed after that. She's different, somehow. Milady stumbles out of the car without a word, and Gulvi looks at Lucy. You can come with me if you want. Lucy shakes her head. No. She steps out and takes Milady's arm. I'll help you. She's not angry any longer. Not even with Milady. Gulvi told her what had happened to her. She had met Milady before she became a magician, when she was still called Jenna. And Gulvi had told Lucy that Milady hadn't had any friends. And Rat had tricked her, and some other street kids had tricked her too. Gulvi had found her huddling on the street one day, with no money and a bruise. They had taken everything from her. Gulvi had taken her home, but Milady had gone angry and left. The next time Gulvi met her, she told her she wasn't called Jenna any longer. She was called Milady. Lucy didn't want that to happen to anyone. She didn't want people to be mean to each other. She helps Milady through the window and sits her down on the sofa. She's scared of touching the stove, but she wants to make tea for them, so she plucks up the courage and puts a kettle on. The stove doesn't give her any electric shocks, and when the water is boiling, she hands Milady a cup. She still hasn't said anything. Lucy pats her hand. You want to be okay. Milady bursts into tears. Lucy puts an arm around her. It's okay. I'll take care of you, milady. I'm Jenna. She weeps quietly as Lucy holds her. And after a long while, she quiets and leans back on the sofa. Her eyes are closed, and Lucy takes a blanket and wraps it around her, and then climbs into bed. She wonders what her parents are doing now. Probably working, like they always did. They never had time for her. She wonders if they even noticed that she's gone. No one else will miss her either. She never had any friends. Only the books and the movies. Those were the only friends she's ever had. But she wanted to find real ones, just like in the movies. So she ran away. She wonders if she will find any. She wakes up before Milady the next day, and she's brave enough to make them another cup of tea. Milady stares on the sofa and sits up. Or, she's not Milady any longer. She's Jenna, she said. She gets up and sits by the table. Thank you, she whispers. They drink the tea in silence, until Jenna says, we need to close the portal. Now we can do it. The deal with the Shadow Man is gone. How do we close it? The veil is still thin. We can do it from here. Jenna prepares the room, and in the evening takes Lucy into it. It's a magical room that Lucy hasn't seen, but Milady has been in it a lot. Lucy is a bit afraid, but Jenna is different from Milady. She doesn't think she will hurt her. This time, Lucy can see the guardians. They stand so tall in front of her, but she remembers what the wizard said. Jenna is trembling beside her, but Lucy takes her hand and says, it's okay. Jenna frowns, looking at them as if she saw them for the first time. You never had any power. The guardians start to shift then, taking on new shapes, each one more horrifying than the last. But Jenna walks past them, and Lucy follows. They land on the same street as last time, and Jenna holds Lucy's hand as they walk towards the house. The Shadow Man is there inside, waiting for them. So, you're more powerful than I thought. You found a way out of our little deal. I'm impressed. He smiles. But I can teach you things no one else knows. I know the shadow world better than anyone. I can give you powers you never dreamt of. Just let this passage be open for me. I'm finished making deals with cockroaches. He grins and takes a step back. So show me then. Show me your new power. Show me how to close this portal. Maybe you're not as impressive as I thought. Jenna takes a deep breath, raises her arm, and casts the spell. The portal doesn't close. She glances at him, eyes wide with fear. She casts the spell again, but nothing. The Shadow Man laughs. Only I can tell you how to close it. She screws up her face, lifting her arm again. No, wait! Lucy takes hold of her arm. She sees what the Shadow Man is doing, and she sees what the wizard talked about. This portal isn't natural. It's a wound between the worlds, and Jenna is making it stronger each time she casts the spell. The unbalance grows, pulling the roots deeper and deeper, connecting the two worlds. It's a trap, don't you see? Jenna lowers her arm and looks around, unsure. This new magic isn't about spells and power. Then how? I don't know any other way. You do. Milady didn't, but you do. She takes Jenna's hand and holds up her own against the portal. She can feel the flow between them, and she hears the shadow man stop laughing. Jenna raises her hand, and Lucy can feel the flow double, and the portal is shrinking. It becomes a whirlwind, and the wind is whipping through the small cabin. Something black flashes by, and Lucy realizes the shadow man disappeared into it. The portal closes, and the wind dulls, until they are standing in the quiet cabin. Jenna's trembling. She stumbles and falls to the ground. Lucy lowers herself next to her. We did it! Jenna smiles weakly. I'm sorry for what I did. Thank you. And I do want to be your friend, if you still want me. She takes Lucy's hand, and she helps her stand. The ground trembles. We need to go. She rounds out with Lucy, and the world, wherever they are, is coming apart. The sky is dissolving, and the ground has patches they need to leap over. A rumble runs through the street, and Lucy barely hears Jenna as she yells, We're almost there! The portal is still open. The air is shimmering as the world around it falls apart. Jenna squeezes Lucy's hand as they jump through it, and everything goes black. She wakes up on the floor, and Jenna is still holding her hand. She stares and slowly sits up. We did it, Jenna smiles. We closed it. She throws her arms around Lucy and sobs into her neck. We did it! Lucy strokes her back until she's calm enough to let go. What now? Jenna whispers into the room. Lucy understands it's not a question of what they will do today, but how they will go on from now. Lucy is not sure what she wants to do. Just that she wants to stay with Jenna. I've always wanted to do something with flowers, Jenna whispers. We can start a flower shop. A flower shop? Yeah, sell flowers. Jenna laughs. It's the first time Lucy has heard her laugh. Yeah, why not? We can start a flower shop. I have everything. Lucy holds up her bag and the backpack. Jenna closes the door to the shop, checks that it's locked, and takes the bag from Lucy. Lucy takes her hand, and they walk down the dark street. The nights have been quiet for years now. Even the stories the street kids tell have lessened. Or so they've heard. I need to go to the shop early tomorrow. It's a big flower arrangement I need to finish before the afternoon, Jenna says. Then I'll come in later. Lucy squeezes Jenna's hand in hers. She's happy they are friends. Now, when they're older, they even sleep in the same bed. Lucy likes falling asleep next to her, and wake up and hold her hand. I called the other premises today too. It's free, we can move there. So we can hire someone once we move it. Yeah, it will be good with some help. They cross the street. Lucy is happy their flower shop is growing. She is good with delivering flowers and organizing the papers. Jenna is hopeless keeping anything in order. So Jenna arranges the flowers, and Lucy takes care of the rest. They never went back to the wizard, but Lucy hopes he's fine. After they closed the portal, Jenna packed her books and cleaned out her room. Now she's only doing magic if she needs to. But never her old magic, only nice magic. Gulvi too stopped. It was time to retire, she said. And now she's saving to travel the world. Lucy hopes she will send her postcards when she does. They arrive at the door to the block of flats, and Jenna dials the code and the door swings open. Lucy convinced her to move out of her basement. So now they have warm water and a stove that doesn't give you electric shocks. They carry the bags up the stairs. An envelope is stuck in the letterbox, and Jenna takes it. It's empty. Just some scratches on it, as if someone has tried to write on it with a pen without ink. That's strange, Jenna says. She tosses it to the side and steps inside. I'll heat the tinned beans. Okay. Jenna still doesn't know how to cook, and most of the time she will simply heat the ready meal. Lucy stopped trying some time ago. At least they get real meals when she cooks for them. She puts the backpack down, and it's just closed the door when someone knocks. Jenna looks at her and shrugs, and Lucy opens. Two girls stand outside, glancing nervously around. They jump in fright as the door swings open, and the shorter of them nudges her friend with her elbow. She glances behind her before leaning in and stammering, Are you the famous adept? Yeah, who's asking? We fucked up.